this is where we are now. Like, and now, like, with social distancing, when I see how people are reacting to social distancing in the city and how people are just like freaking out, it's just, it makes me like, it really makes me not want to go out. Like, it literally makes me not want to go out when I see a woman like freaking out that like someone walked by her on an escalator. Like, the US will never ever be the same ever again. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jermaine, back with another video. I thought I would do a sit down video and thought I would talk about sort of some of the things that are going on in our world right now. And as you guys know, we are basically on lockdown in a lot of places in the US. And I believe when this whole lockdown situation is over with, things will never be the same. They will never be the same before this whole shutdown occurred. And let's just talk about a couple things that I want to bring up why I don't think things will not be the same. First off, working from home has gotten really, really popular. Now, before this whole crisis that happened, people worked from home, but it wasn't pushed a lot. You know, a lot of tech companies work from home. A lot of different other industries, like in the finance industry and also healthcare industry, a lot of these people work from home. But now you have a lot of office buildings like working from home, like places that never worked from home before, they're working from home right now. So as of the making of this video, I am in San Francisco, and this is day lockdown number 7. And in San Francisco, it's very, very interesting how this whole lockdown started. So the mayor said that we would have 3 weeks of shelter in place, all right? And then a couple days after that, the governor of California said, okay, we are going to have shelter in place for the whole state of California. But check this out, they never gave a time frame of when this would end. So maybe this would last for 2 weeks for the entire state of California. Maybe this would last for 1 month or 2 months. But what we do know is there are a lot of people working from home. Now, you send everyone home to work from home, and guess what? Guess what's gonna happen? People are gonna figure out things. People are gonna figure out some things. Some people may figure out, look, I really don't like working from home. This sucks because I'm at home and my girlfriend, she's working from home too, and we're clashing together. Some people are probably gonna love working from home, especially if you got some crazy long commute, like you have to commute an hour and a half to get to work, and then you're there for 6 hours, and then you have to commute another hour and a half to get back. Only to be there for 6 hours, 3 hours commuting, 6 hours at the office. Like, why are you even commuting? Why won't you just work from home? Chances are you're probably commuting to go to the office just to work on your laptop, not even a desktop, to work on your laptop. And then you're probably gonna have meetings with people in the same building via live chat. Like, you're not even gonna go talk to them. I mean, yeah, you will talk to them, but you know, you may be in one room in the office and they may be in another room on another floor in the office, but you guys are talking to each other. You guys can't both be at home doing the same thing. So I believe the workforce is definitely going to change in the US. Now, I'm not saying that the financial district in San Francisco is just gonna close down. No, I don't think it's just gonna close down overnight, but what I will imagine happen over time, maybe not just right when this whole lockdown is over with, but I imagine over time, companies will maybe downsize. Maybe they'll downsize, maybe they'll have less places for people to work in the office because they'll have more people working from home, and maybe workers come to the office once a week or maybe twice a month or something like that to do certain events at the office. And I imagine for meetings and parties and social gatherings, everyone shows up to the office for the social gathering instead of go to the office every single day. Think about it, how much of a waste that is. Like, how much of a waste to the environment that is. You have all these buses, you have all these trains, you have all these people sitting in their cars driving to work, and then they do majority of the work on the computer, on the internet. They can be anywhere. So that's the first reason. The second reason, okay, I don't mean to be doom and gloom here, but I'm I'm just looking at this picture, and I'm just gonna tell you guys what I see on this picture here. It looks like a lot of people are about to lose their jobs soon. Like a lot of people. And what I mean by that is, okay, yeah, there's all these things in place where like, okay, we're gonna help out small businesses. You know, there's gonna be money to help out small businesses, and there's gonna be money to help out this, and there's gonna be money to help out that, and it's gonna be money. Forget about all that money, okay? Let's just talk about what's going on today and right now. As of now, there's already restaurants in San Francisco that are already closed down, and they're not going to open back up again. They're done. They're not opening back up. Okay, and you know, whenever I get on Facebook, there's always people talking about the stimulus package, and the government's going to do this, and the government's going to do that. It's to the point now where I don't even pay it any attention, because if the government is not doing it and they're talking about doing it, it's not even worth talking about, okay? So yeah, there's supposed to be some government stimulus package to help out small businesses, but guess what? There's already small businesses that have already folded, okay? And there's still no government stimulus package. And still, when that bill is signed, it's still gonna be weeks, okay? So there's gonna be even more businesses that are gonna completely go out of business, all right? Another scenario with businesses completely going out of business, okay, let's just say you're a business in San Francisco. So a lot of businesses in San Francisco, especially in the financial district, they don't live off of foot traffic. They live off of large catering orders to people in office buildings, okay? And I've already know a couple of these places that have just simply went out of business because more than 50% of their income comes from offices and office buildings. Like they get a catering order, you know, a catering order for 50 people. You know, they get 4 catering orders a day, and that's enough money for them to survive. Maybe they, you know, sell a couple things with Uber Eats. Maybe they sell a couple things with Caviar. Maybe they have a couple random people walk in and order some things, but their bread and butter comes from those office buildings. It's not just in San Francisco, it's all over the world. There are, you know, businesses that rely on, you know, people in office buildings to spend money and make money. So when we suffer a slowdown, because we definitely suffered a mad slowdown before everything was mandatory shutdown. Like things had got really slow. Like people were already not making money before the shutdown. And then when the shutdown came, it's just like, you know, you're literally stopped in your tracks because you just cannot make it anymore. And for a lot of business owners, that has already happened, or that is just about to happen. Okay, so when you have a business and you have bills and you have to pay for things and you have to pay employees and you have to eat, and you're already like, you know, treading water, and then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, this comes up and you can't make any money. And even before this came up, you had seen weeks of you're just not making any money because there's less people coming into the city, there's less people shopping. And then this rolls out, and then you have 7 employees that work for you. And you have to tell your 7 employees, hey, I'm gonna have to close the doors because I'm not making any money. You know, just because you see a business owner doesn't mean that they're doing good. You know, just because they own the business doesn't mean that they're balling. Sometimes you can own a business and you are just getting by day. Like literally day by day, the money that's coming in, you're gonna turn around and use that money to keep funding that business. And when that money doesn't come in for that day, or those 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, you're over, yo. Okay, so businesses, I think a lot of restaurants are gonna go. I think a lot of things in the service industry is just gonna slip. It's gonna slip hard, okay? It's gonna really slip hard. We may even see a lot of mom and pop stores just go out of business because, you know, when you tell businesses you have to close for a month, and of course the government says, oh yeah, you don't have to pay rent, but the government says you don't have to pay rent, but guess what? Landlords are still looking for their money. Landlords are still looking for their money. The government didn't tell the landlord, look, don't charge people. The government just says, oh yeah, we're not going to evict people. The government's not going to evict people, but most people don't rent from the government. Most people rent from their landlord, and landlords are going to want their money. Maybe they're not going to want their money this month. Maybe they'll give you a break because maybe we're off work, okay? But the next month, the following month, you think they're going to just forget about it? You know, if you're a landlord, you're in a funny situation too, because a lot of landlords take loans from banks. Now, I know a lot of banks are going to give people breaks on their loans, and if you're a landlord and you're getting a break on your loan, I mean, you definitely should not be, trying to ride your tenants and make them pay you when the bank is going to give you a break. Like, you should at least pass that down to the next person. However, I know all landlords won't do that, but I can see this being a scenario. And then one more scenario. Okay, let's get back to restaurants. So restaurants are already going to get hit really hard, but there's another bad thing about restaurants here that I've just discovered. Okay, once again, you take someone like me. I really like to go out. I don't necessarily like to go out and party all the time, but I like to maybe go out and have a beer, or I like to go and have dinner after beer, or sometimes I like to have lunch and dinner. I'll go out and do that. But as of now, like, I really can't do that. Like, basically all the restaurants are closed. I know one falafel restaurant that's open, and it's a distance away. But check this out. I wouldn't mind going to get a falafel from there. However, I can't eat it there, so I would have to go all the way there and pick up the falafel, and then I'd have to like eat it on the side of the street, or I'd have to come all the way back here to eat it. So even the few restaurants that are open, I have been massively discouraged to even go to the restaurant, because I'm like, well, I don't want to have to eat outside on the street. And if it was a nice warm day, I wouldn't mind eating outside on the street. But today it was cold, it was chilly, it was breezy, and it was definitely not a day I want to sit and eat outside on the street. So I found myself out in the daytime, and there's Chipotle right there, and it's open. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I can just go to Chipotle and grab something, because I'm used to eating out. Like, I'm used to eating out, especially for lunchtime. I'm not used to going home and cooking for lunchtime. But what I found myself doing is I'll go by Chipotle, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's no one there. And then I think to myself, I can just go make some food at home. Like, I can just go make some food at home. Because basically Chipotle is my only option downtown. Like, a lot of the Asian restaurants I go to, they're closed. The mall's closed, so that takes out a couple of vegan restaurants. So like, I'm in this situation where like, all right, yeah, let's just go home and make something. So I've literally been cooking food at home like a lot, and I'm getting used to it, and I'm getting really good in the kitchen. And it's not just me. Like, there's a lot of people out there that's doing the same thing. And I just want to know, like, when this whole thing is over with, am I still gonna like cook at home? Like, I think I've got used to it now. Like, it's becoming a part of my routine, because like literally the past 7 days in a row, I've cooked. I've literally cooked. And since I've lived in San Francisco off and on for the past 6 years, I've never cooked ever, probably 3 days in a row. Like, probably not even 2 days in a row. I've never cooked living here, because I just always eat out. Like, I just always eat out. And I know some people say, oh, eating out is so expensive. Yeah, it is. But then also, like, cooking food is not, I don't know. You still gotta buy the food. You gotta prepare it. You gotta go to the store. I mean, eating out is just, you just go right down to the shop and you just buy something and you eat it. But cooking food is like, you definitely gotta have your ingredients. But lately I've been just cooking food, and I just wonder how many other people who are in my situation. You live this city life. You're always running you're always running around. You're always doing this, and now you're like, I better cook. And the funny thing about cooking is, I like panicked and went out and bought all this food like before this whole thing happened. And I'm thinking, like, what if the grocery store is closed? And what if I try to go to the grocery store and get this and they don't have this? So like I was like just like thinking to myself, like, oh, I have to buy a bunch of food. So I went and bought a boatload of food, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm cooking. But I'm actually saving a boatload of money. Like, I'm saving a lot of money, and I'm still working. Not working like I would normally work, just because it's just really slow. But I'm still definitely making like decent amount of money, like pretty much the same amount of money that I was making before this whole shutdown, because I kind of switched apps and I'm doing more on different apps now. So that's pretty cool. But I definitely found myself staying home a lot more. And I'm thinking that that's probably gonna change. Like, it's probably gonna change. Like, after this quarantine is up, like, I probably will spend more time at home. Like I'm getting used to it now. Like it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool hanging out in my building, like meeting random people in my building. It's kind of cool. It's something that I definitely would not be doing if we were not on quarantine or we were not on lockdown. Lockdown. That sounds so insane. It's San Francisco on lockdown. San Francisco on lockdown. These are some of the things I've noticed, and these are some of the reasons why I think that the U.S. won't be the same place. And just these couple of things that I've named out, there's like trickle effect behind them. You know, if you have less people going to work in the office downtown, you have more people working from home. Well, that's gonna really change the landscapes of cities. You know, like it's really gonna change like San Francisco. Like if you see like less people going downtown, that means that less people are gonna be going out to restaurants, and just less people are gonna be doing things. We're just gonna be more at home type people, and we're gonna be more private type people. The social distancing thing is just really weird. I mean, I don't mean to be negative, and I understand that like regulators and lawmakers and people say social distancing is a good thing, but I thought I would give my 2 cents about social distancing. Living in San Francisco, people have already practiced social distancing for years. Like it's already a thing. But now, since you know people hear it on TV and hear it on the radio, and their sons everywhere talking about social distancing, it's just getting weird. Like it's getting really weird. Like I ask myself, like, can I even do certain things anymore? For example, like earlier today, like I was shopping, and it was the escalator, okay? And you know, if you're walking on the escalator, you know, people stand on the right, and then if you're walking, you walk on the left, okay? Now, if you pass someone on the escalator, you're gonna be less than 6 feet from them. You're gonna be like 1 feet from them. So there's this guy on the escalator. He's walking up, and he passes this lady who is just like right in front of me. I definitely were not 6 feet from her. And she just went off. Like she started yelling at him like, I need my personal space, like 6 feet away, 6 feet away. And I'm thinking like, okay, all right. Should we just not use the escalator? It was the same scenario that I've heard that another carrier was talking about, how he was dropping off a delivery in a building, and this lady insisted that he get off of the elevator and take the next elevator because he was too close to her inside of the elevator. Like it's just getting really weird. It's getting really, really weird. And the social distancing is it's sort of breaking people apart, you know. And then there's also the flip side of it. You know, that they have laws out about social distancing. For example, like in LA, I've already heard that people are getting tickets for not doing the whole social distancing thing. And it just makes me wonder about this scenario. What if you live with your partner, okay? You and your partner sleep in the same bed. Your girlfriend and you, okay? And then you're walking down the street and you're holding hands. Now, someone can easily say you guys should be doing social distancing, but then at the same time, if you sleep in the same bed, if you live in the same house, sleep in the same bed, like what's the difference of even social distancing? Like, it seems like if he's got it, you already got it because y'all already together, you know? So the social distancing is just really weird. Like, I find it really weird. Like, this is where we are now, like, I already thought it was hard enough to meet people in San Francisco, like already. And now, like with social distancing, when I see how people are reacting to social distancing in the city and how people are just like freaking out, it makes me like, it really makes me not want to go out. Like it literally makes me not want to go out when I see a woman like freaking out that like someone walked by her on an escalator. Like, it's like, well, I mean, if you're that afraid of catching this flu, you should literally not leave the house. Like you should just be at home. So these are like some of the things I think that I think that are just, I mean, the whole working from home can be a really, really good thing. I mean, it can be very, very efficient, but then social distancing is something that we've never really heard of up until like a couple weeks ago. And now it's like just the biggest thing ever. Like the biggest thing ever. Like give me my space. Give me my space, you know. I get it, but then, question, if anybody watching this video in New York, are people freaking out about the whole personal space thing in New York? Because in New York is like way more crowded than San Francisco, like way more densely populated. I just want to know what you guys have to say. Also, I want to know what you guys have to say about all this in the comments. Definitely like the comment box up below. I just want to know what you guys have to say, what part of the country that you guys live in, because if you guys live in the US, it really depends on what part of the US you're in, if you're affected by this or not. These are the times we are living in today. This is our era, this is our life, this is our time, this is what we got going on. But anyway, thought I would make another video talking about why I think the US won't be the same. No, not after this. Not after this. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, yo.